Live stream here and work on the Gorillas and Guns YouTube channel header, and thought I'd just kind of work on that a little bit this morning. Up a little early for me anyway. It's not really that early, but I've got doctor's appointment later and things to do, so I thought, I really need to get a video up. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to just take care of a little housekeeping here, get the post out on Facebook, which I've already typed up, so we'll share that out at facebook.com/5012design. If you're not following me there, definitely you're going to want to do that. That's where we'll get all those updates about live streams and things like that that are going on right at the channel, as well as the YouTube videos. If you're watching on Twitch, I also have a YouTube channel with a lot more content. I only stream on Twitch for my artwork, so if you want to check out other content, definitely go follow me on Facebook so that you can see when those are posted and get links to that YouTube channel and subscribe there. In fact, we've actually got a giveaway going right now with my friend Silverback over at Gorillas and Guns channel that we're working on artwork for today. So if you want to head over to that Facebook page, 5012 Design, and just check for that. It was posted a little earlier, a little giveaway video that he put together on something that we're working on, firearms related. So if you're interested in firearms, or if you just really want to put a crazy little optic on your Nerf gun or whatever, definitely check that out, enter the contest, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would tell you my YouTube name, but it's just Mike Bryant because I don't have a custom URL until I hit 100 subscribers, and that's part of that giveaway. So definitely, if you're not subscribed, it would really help me out if you go hit that subscribe and then watch that Gorillas and Guns video for information on how to enter that giveaway if that's something you're interested in. So I'm going to just go ahead and share this live message really quick on my personal page with my friends and family here. So that they know, because it would be absolutely awesome if my mom hopped into the chat somehow and embarrassed me. So we'll get that ready to go. Okay, and I am learning a little bit more with this OBS software. So like last time, I figured out how to do this crazy splash screen here for my Twitch streams, and how to switch between monitors so we can work on Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop over on my primary monitors where I usually use those. And then for artwork that I'm drawing, I typically use Autodesk Sketchbook, which is free. I think I mentioned that before, but just mentioning that again. If you look up Autodesk Sketchbook, Sketchbook is one word. You can find it in the App Store on Google Play or at Autodesk's website, which I'm not sure what that is, probably autodesk.com/sketchbook or something like that. But they've made that completely free now. So it used to be you could download a trial version and you get 3 layers and you're limited to that. But now you can actually use the entire software package. And it's not much use with a mouse if you're working on a computer with just a mouse, but if you've got a Wacom screen or a Wacom tablet that you're good with, then a really great resource for you for just drawing and sketching, painting, whatever you want to do. They really do a great job of making a very intuitive interface for the most part, and making a very natural interface for artwork. So let's go ahead and get started here. I've got everything shared out and we're underway. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to that Wacom screen here. There we are. And let's see. Oh, you know what? I forgot to update my description here on Twitch. So let me just do that really quick. This interface seems very odd to me, but I think that's because we're using third-party software to stream. So it'd be cool if Twitch at some point got their own app for streaming. Okay, let's put in Autodesk Sketchbook, blues and guns, paint, 12 design. Okay, got all that done. We've updated that. Should update. Well, I don't know if it's going to update that title or not in the stream. So it says Illustrator, but we're not working in Illustrator today. We are working with artwork from Illustrator, so I guess that's sort of accurate. Let's get to work. So I just moved everything around in my office, and I have misplaced my pen. There it is. Stylus. Okay. So get to work on this. And what we're doing today is just a little, boy, you know what? I'm sorry. I need to give myself a little bit more rope here on my headset. The Wacom screen is quite large, so I got to scoot over about another 2 or 3 feet here to switch screens, even though they're kind of next to each other. It's pretty big, so a little bit more room. Hopefully we don't have a whole bunch of noise happening that way from the microphone cord. At some point, maybe I'll get one of those fancy boom mics that streamers like to use that have great sound quality and all that. But I'm not there just yet. Oh, that's something else I could bring up, though. If you'd like to help me get there, even though I am a very small channel, I have started up a Patreon page, a Patreon account. So it's a place where you can go and support me. Right now, primarily that's going toward, sort of toward the channel, but really just toward me for medical issues. So as anyone who's been watching for any amount of time knows, I have some medical problems, disabled, and I've had to switch insurance, and my new insurance is kind of awful, so I have a lot of expenses coming up, and I'm going to really need some help with that. So I set up a Patreon. I'm probably also going to do a GoFundMe if people would like to donate a larger amount of money all at once rather than doing a monthly subscription through Patreon. So that'll come together. I need to film a video for both, and then I'll put that together. So that's coming if you wanted to help out. But you can also just help out regularly through Patreon, and it's a tiered system. You've got some different rewards that you can get from me for some of the different support levels, and then basically it just bills you every month and then gives that to me so that I can pay some of my bills and keep the channel going here. So if I'm able to meet my goal, which is about $100 a month, if I can do that, I think I will be able to take care of those medical expenses throughout the year here, and then anything beyond that will go directly to the channel for things like new equipment, maybe a streaming microphone. I need to replace some of the nibs for my pen, my Wacom stylus. It's just little stuff, but that's cheap. Some stuff's more expensive. We'll see how that goes, but it's a really great opportunity if you'd like to get a free logo designed by me. Well, not exactly free, but by supporting me at some of those higher levels, you do get an opportunity to get artwork done for you on the channel. So as far as a logo goes with full vector graphics and all of that, that can get pretty expensive, especially depending on how complex that logo is. The Gorillas and Guns example here is a good example of something that's very complex and would really be pretty expensive, but for just, I think it starts at $15 a month. Basically, gets you access to that, so we can put that together for you or do a custom artwork and stuff like that. So Patreon again is patreon.com/UncleMike5012. I don't know if they put the @ sign before the name. I just started, but I'll put a link in the Facebook page and on the YouTube stream description and all that. So if you'd like to help out, you can do that. And I'm going to get to work here. So let's see, what color do we want to make the gorilla? You know what, actually, I'm going to stick with this kind of brown color for the moment. And let's zoom in on these pants. And we're going to do the pants in brown. So let's fill that in. Oops, I'm on the wrong layer. Let's undo that. There we go. Base colors. And actually, I don't know if this is really the brush I want to use. Let's figure out. No, I definitely don't want to use that brush. That one's not bad. I can make it larger. Okay. For some of these finer details, I want a smaller brush so that I can save myself some cleanup time. So we're just going to go in and fill in the lines here. And while I'm doing that, perhaps I should warn you, we do have family staying with us right now, and my nephew is kind of in a little bit of a mood today, so you'll have to forgive me if we have some shouting in the background from time to time. Right now, I think he's out there watching Trolls in the living room, and he enjoys that movie quite a bit, so he'll probably be pretty quiet for that. Okay, so we are just doing a basic color fill right now. Nothing too fancy. And I'm not really coloring in any particular order here, as you see me jumping around. It's just, I don't know, whatever feels more natural, I guess. But so this is a logo that really bridges the gap between graphic design and illustration, because it is really more of an illustration than a traditional logo. Working with a character like this. And as far as a logo goes, of course, we wanted to do all that vector line work, and that is what I'm working with here. It has been rasterized to work with Sketchbook here, so you see it does look a little pixelated because we're zoomed in pretty close. And this is going to go in the header of Silverback's YouTube channel, and then it will also probably go on his Facebook page, which he does not have, but we need to get him one. We're going to have to work on that, because that's a great way, I think, to start growing your channel and to be able to share things out. It allows people to talk about your content and link directly to a sort of hub or home page for that content. So I'm going to probably get on him about that. And we'll do a size of this for the Facebook header. And if you're working with a YouTube page, we're doing artwork for a YouTube page, I had to look it up. As of this moment, YouTube's resolution for that artwork at the top of the page is 2560 pixels by 1440 pixels, and that's kind of important for go to a darker brown here. Let's desaturate that a bit. There we go. Kind of important for filling in that space without stretching. Unfortunately, all of these social platforms use headers with different sizes, and that can cause some trouble. So what we're going to do with this one, I'm working a little bit small so that the artwork is going to be hopefully centered really well in the YouTube header, and then when you view that on mobile, they actually cut off the sides of that image, and they don't really warn you about that. You'd think the app would just scale it one for one, but it does not. So I'm going to try and keep all of the artwork, the logo, the name of the channel, all of that kind of centered with a sort of generic background. There we go. Got that filled in. Let's come back here. Let's grab a nice yellow color for that banana. So I'm going to go with a very dark mustardy color because I'm going to actually just create highlights on top of this. So this will be more of the shadow color of the banana. And we need to move our canvas over here. Oops. Transparency of the active layer is locked. Erasers work by affecting the transparency of the current layer. That's weird. Oh, because I am back on that background layer again. Okay, well, let's unlock transparency there. That's going to screw things up. Let's see. Do I have a eyedropper, a sample tool? I don't know. Oh, yep, there we go. Eyedropper. Let's grab that gray color. Let's fill that in. Okay, so I was hoping to be working on that base colors layer, and fortunately did not notice that I was not. So I've already done all this work with the coloring. I'm just going to leave it. That's fine. It's not a big deal. In fact, that'll probably be the base color for the belt buckle and the revolver. Okay, so now we need to kind of decide on what color our gorilla is going to be. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with a charcoal base. I'm going to go with a slight blue tint to it. Over there, very desaturated. There we go. And I'm probably going to need to get back to that color, so let's make a little swatch. There we go. Okay, and we'll start filling him in here. And then we're going to start getting into a lot of color variations kind of as we work here, but for now we're just doing these real basic colors. So go ahead and just fill the entire gorilla with this. I have a feeling that Trolls has either ended, or I don't think it ended. I think interest was lost. So let's see how it goes. Now I have actually, if you followed on the Facebook page, I have been having some sort of a little bit different issue lately in my back. Some kind of a weird muscle spasm. That's actually what I'm going to be seeing the doctor about today. Hasn't really gone away. It is much less right now, which is a big relief, literally. But I still feel it, kind of ready to tense up again, and it basically made it sometimes kind of impossible to walk. And at first, when I first had issues, it was actually so painful that my whole torso was locking up to try to support my back, and made it really hard to breathe. So, I mean, not constantly. I wasn't suffocating or anything, but it was just kind of every time I would move or pull that muscle, it was kind of like that. I had to hold my breath, so not a lot of fun, and hopefully I'm about done with all of that. I'll see the doctor today. I got to get updated vaccines and see if maybe there's a different muscle relaxer he can put me on, or if there's something I need to be doing to help work that out. I don't know, but basically there's a muscle group that connects in your back from your rib cage down to your hip, and I have a lot of trouble in my right hip in general, and it was that muscle group that kind of went out on, just locked up like felt like a rock. The muscle was just completely seized, and we didn't know exactly what was going on. At first they thought maybe I had kidney stones or something, which I have to say I think I prefer the muscle spasm. But it wasn't that, but a lot of pain kind of in the back where that kidney is, so kind of give you an idea of what was going on. So anyway, all of that to say that it's kind of what's going on with me right now, and it's going to probably limit my stream here. And it sounds like my sister-in-law is doing some vacuuming. It should be done pretty soon. I apologize, that probably is not getting canceled out by the headphones here. I guess I could tell you a little bit about that. My brother-in-law is in the Air Force and just got stationed here in Colorado. I'm not going to say where exactly. I don't think I'm supposed to say, but Um, just got stationed here, and we're pretty excited, my wife and I, about that, getting to be more a part of their lives and my nephew's life. And he's got some special needs that, oops, I needed that gray color for that, not an eraser. I'll get back to that later. He's got some special needs that they just couldn't really handle as well in Germany where he was stationed. So he's here now, and they've in the process of buying a house, and it's going to be a little while till they get it or get to move in anyway. So we've got about a month or so that they're staying with us. That's been going pretty well. It's been fun to see how my nephew interacts with my dogs, and as they're kind of getting used to each other and all that. Just about done with the fill on the gorilla. Fingers and toes at this point. Oh, man, speaking of fingers and toes, I guess there's this whole thing I was sort of aware of, because I know there were some very inappropriate videos made on the children's YouTube sort of station or mode. I had heard about it, but there's a song called Brother Finger or something like that that's supposed to help you learn your fingers. I remember feeling like that was difficult to learn when I was a kid, but it's a very catchy tune about fingers, and boy, he loves it. And they make these videos. There seem to be a lot of these videos about this with this song. Create my swatch for that too. Let's come back to this. Wait, no, oops. Gray. Oh, maybe I did have the gray. They make a lot of videos with that song. I don't know if it's all made by the same people or how you get the rights to that song, but these videos don't even have anything to do with fingers sometimes. They're just, there was a kid stacking rings on a pole. What does that have to do with different fingers? I don't know, but man, apparently if you can get the rights to that song, you can make a killing with how many plays it gets. Okay. It's begun to kind of haunt me at night, in fact. Gets stuck in my head. If any of you are parents out there, you probably know what I mean. I've probably got it easy, considering. Okay, what are we doing here? Well, we are coloring in the skin tone sort of underneath the fur of the gorilla. And you'll notice I'm using some very large strokes and kind of just splitting it up. I'm actually going to try to fade this color a bit. Fade it into the other color. And so we don't need to be very exact because it's all going to get blurred out and hopefully make for a pretty cool transition. And in some places we're going to want to kind of keep it pretty solid, but I should swatch that. Once we get to actually doing that fading and blending, then we're going to really lose those colors. So that's why I'm making sure I swatch everything over on the side there so I can resample it if I need to. And in places here like his toes, we'll probably keep it pretty tight. Not too faded there. Same with his hands, but I don't know how detailed I'm going to get on the rendering of his fur and whatnot. So just start with kind of a blur there. Okay, so where is that tool? I think that is an eraser. Let's pop this up. That's my blur tool. That's my spinner tool. Blur tool is what I want. So what I'm going to do is just start blurring that out. This is a technique I've been kind of experimenting with. Got my blur tool a little too large here for this face. That's okay. Let's go back to that pen. So here's back in. Bring in a little more color here. Down his belly. Here we go. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Try to get about to 100%. That's pretty close. Okay, let's shrink this down a little. Just put a little bit of blur on the back of his palm. Here we go. I'm going to create a new layer. Let's, oops. Oh, I think I'm double tapping. Wait, okay. Well, let's get over here. Okay. So we're going to work with kind of a darker gray here and start working on some shadows. And let's make sure that pen tool is selected. It did not get as dark as it needs to be. There we go. There's our shadow color. And we're going to basically do the same technique with this one, but then we're going to come back and sharpen up some of the shadows a little bit. Because we want to kind of keep that sort of cartoon look. That's going to kind of go away, but I thought I would just kind of test how I might draw that to get the fur in that shadow. That will work out pretty well. So just some basic cross hatching here, really basic. So try to define some of those shapes. Okay, a little bit under his brow there. Under his nostrils. That crease on his face. Let's grab our blur tool. Just to kind of blurring that out. I'm actually going to lose a lot of detail here in the shadows in his hands. That's someplace where I'm going to actually come back and do sharper shadows. Right now we're just getting kind of the basic shadow down. With that blur tool we can kind of draw along some of these contours and get sort of a directionality to that blur, so pretty handy. It's definitely kind of a, and it's an interesting technique to use to create that effect. But I enjoy it. I think in the end, you end up with a really cool, smooth shading. Something that would be very hard to draw by hand, for me anyway. I think a lot of people use the Smudge Tool, and it's probably a little easier to control, the Smudge Tool. But I like this blur tool. Okay, I'm going to come up again here. Grab that, grab my little pen. Let's shrink that down a little more. Let that switch back. Oh, because I'm on the wrong layer. That's what's going on. Right? No? Oh man, I got my swatches all over different layers. That's my problem. It's not that layer. Maybe it was on... No, this is my shadow layer. I don't know why my eyedropper's not working. Yeah, there it is. Eyedropper. Eyedropper. Got eyedropper. It's not picking up the color. What if I try to use my mouse here? There we go. I don't know why that worked. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. kind of actually experimenting a little bit at this point. Just kind of building up a little more color there. Give some definition to some of his different facial features. I kind of like that. I think that's working well. Back down here into these shadows. Blur that out a little bit more. Here with the eraser, just sharpen this up a little bit. Go over to that blur tool. Soften that up. Just a tad here and there. Okay. I'm feeling pretty happy with how this is coming along, but I'm going to need to stop. That lower back's kind of flaring up on me again. It's very frustrating. Okay, well, we've got kind of a start. You can see some process of how I go about painting with the Wacom tablet in Sketchbook, tools that I'm using. So I think that takes care of that. Let's just save that image. And then, yeah, I think we're going to call it a day here. So thanks for watching. If you did hop in and watch this on Twitch, leave me a comment, let me know. And if you watched on YouTube, definitely leave me a comment there. And make sure you subscribe so that you can get updates on when I'm going live and when we're doing other things with the channel there. So yeah, I think that covers it. Again, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/5012design, and then pretty much everywhere else I am Uncle Mike 5012. So Patreon, and now on Gunstreamer, but they're merging with YouTube, so I'll probably be switching to YouTube, and I'll be Uncle Mike 5012 there. I'm going to try and keep all of the social channels the same. So I think that covers it. Oh, also a Patreon, if I didn't mention that, Uncle Mike 5012 at Patreon. You can find me there and sign up to support the channel if you'd like. So it would really help me out. Thanks. I'm going to go ahead and log out here, and you have a great day.